Hi Jonas, how do literary elements advance a story?
Well, what are they? I don't know what they are.
Well, there are 5 kinds of elements and they are all used to make a story. Any guesses?
Personification, metaphors, similes.
No. They are setting, characters, plot, theme and climax. Also known as conflicts.
Well, can you tell me more about them so I can answer your question?
I would be more than happy to. Okay, so I'm going to start with setting. Setting is the time and place and where the action takes place in a story. Setting is used to make a story seem real and akin to symbolizes an idea. It's also used to create a mood or environment.
Oh? I'm reading this book called The Giver, and I found a passage that I think includes setting. He helped the woman from the chair, led her to the tub, removed her robe, and steadied her with his hand as she stepped and lowered herself. She leaned back and sighed with pleasure, with her head on a soft cushion headrest. Lois Lowry, The Giver.
Thoughts perfect, Jonas. Now on to the next element. Characters. Do you have a clue what this might be?
I think it includes people or animals. I guess anything alive or moving with internal organs.
Correct. Characterization is used with people or animals, and it's when an author describes what a character is like and how the character acts throughout the story. Characterization can be direct or indirect.
What do you mean it can be direct or indirect? What's the difference?
Well, direct characterization is when the author describes the character's personality traits. And indirect characterization is when the author describes the character's physical traits and their actions, and how people react to their actions.
Oh, I get it. So this would be direct. I feel a little sorry for him, Jonas said, even though I don't know him. I feel sorry for anyone who is in a place where he feels strange or stupid. The Giver.
Yes, that's direct. You got the hang of it. Now it would be indirect.
You go, Lily, he said, seeing his sister, who was much younger, only a 7, wiggling in her chair. The Giver.
Good, Jonas. Now tell me again the difference between the two.
Direct is when the author tells what the character is like. Indirect is when the author tells what the character looks like and what they do and how others react towards the character's doings.
You listen very well. Now on to the next element. The plot is what happens and how it happens. There are 5 parts of a plot. Inciting incident, which is the event that creates the conflict. Then you have the development, which is the events that make the conflict worse. After that comes the climax, which is the highest point of interest of a story. Next comes the resolution, which is when the conflict ends. Last but not least is the denouement, which is when everything goes back to normal.
Oh wow! It seems to be that the plot is a very important part of the story.
Yes, you're absolutely correct, Jonas. But there is also another very important part.
And that is
the conflict. It's what every story must have. It can have as many conflicts as it wants. It just has to contain at least one conflict.
Oh wow! The Giver has many conflict, like when Jonas was skipped during the assignments and when Jonas stopped taking his pills. Jonas is some character.
Is that right? What's the theme of the story?
What's that?
The theme is a message the story or movie is giving you.
Oh? Well, I know that. The theme of The Giver is that being the same is not equality. People need to experience pain and pleasure, otherwise they are not experiencing the full effect of human feeling.
Seems like a good book. It sounds like it really helps you understand how life would be with equality, and that when everybody says things isn't fair, it's because life isn't fair, and not everything is gonna be equal, and you don't want everything to be equal.
Yeah, it helped me understand life a lot better.
That's very good. So now that we have talked about all 5 of the literary elements, can you tell me how they advance a story?
They advance a story because they set a tone by adding detail and mood into the story. And without them, stories would be bland.
You are correct. This is Fiona and Jonas discussing literary elements. Thanks all for watching and have a good night.